good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Today we're going to be building a brand new series of tanks for my geckos. One is called Reptile, specially designed by the company themselves, very notorious in the reptile community. And the other one is called Reptile Habitats. And we're going to be comparing the two. Little spoiler, one of them is very obviously in the lead. But for now, just sit back, enjoy the show, and we'll talk about the pros and cons at the end. Alright, now that we finish up with the reptile habitats enclosure, we can now get started on the reptile enclosure. So, pretty much after finishing up with these two tanks, it's time to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I'm going to be honest with you, there's a massive lead already, and that is going to definitely be REPTI. I didn't really think that $50 would make such a massive difference in quality, but it was huge. I mean, with reptile habitats, it's good for the price. I mean, $130 is good. But the problem being is that it heavily relies on the ignorance of the user. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. In fact, if I believe that if a company relies on you being ignorant of how to properly take care of your animals, that company should not exist. I'll put up a good example here. For example, as I was putting in the bioactive layer from my reptile, specifically the drainage layer, it started spilling. It started spilling like crazy, and it caught me completely off guard. Not a fan of that. Not a fan of that at all. Not to mention, also the instructions are really difficult to kind of follow. Just as I was pulling this up to show you guys the instructions a little better, yeah, they're not here. I really don't know what the hell happened. Maybe they just didn't think that anybody would check. I mean, I had to use the QR code on the instruction manual in the earlier video to figure out what I'm looking at. If you Google it, you're just not gonna find it, which is weird. Literally, the link is gone. And also, I mean, it almost broke on me as I was building it. Even though you're supposed to use force to hammer it in and things like that, I noticed that pieces of it began to split, certain things began to break, all sorts of things like that. It is extremely infuriating in that regard. As for REPTI, the only errors that I faced was user error, basically. I just didn't properly latch in the screws. I don't know what to call them. But I failed to latch them in appropriately, and sometimes when I picked it up, the whole tank, for example, the bottom kind of slipped out. But just as quickly as I managed to break it, I mean, I managed to fix it. So that's not at all an issue. I will say as well that like the walls are thicker, it looks of better quality, and it looks like it's gonna last me a very long time. Not to mention that it holds humidity very effectively. In terms of temperature, I haven't figured that out quite yet. I feel like my setup at the moment is not valid for measuring it because, well, they're differing heights, and as you can imagine, heat rises, cold tends to drop to the bottom, so on and so forth. But ultimately, the building process was a lot easier, had a lot less problems because it actually included a print manual, and most importantly, I mean, like the ease of access is incredible. So $50, I would say, is definitely worth the investment over the reptile habitat, especially because reptile habitats seems like it genuinely depends on the user not going bioactive, even though that is the best way to go about it. If you want to save money and you're choosing a desert animal of some kind, or an animal that doesn't require a extremely high level of moisture, I would definitely say consider reptile habitats, but otherwise, REPTI all the way.